Hello and welcome back to the Letterbox Podcast. Wherever you are listening in from, thank you so much for being here. Really does mean a lot to me, and I know the people who are writing the letters too. If you've heard the last few letters, you'll know we've explored some deeply personal stories. One of the things I love about what this podcast is becoming, though, is that there are no rules about what deserves to be in a letter. Today's letter is a light-hearted one. It's been sent in by Anna, who's nearly 30, and like so many people of that generation, myself included, grew up with Friends, the TV show, permanently playing somewhere in the background. What we're going to listen to isn't just a love letter to a sitcom. It's a reflection on growing up alongside 6 fictional characters who somehow became companions through childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, teaching lessons both profound and completely ridiculous. Before I read today's letter, if you think that this one is going to resonate with someone you know, please share it with them. And if you're not already, following and leaving a rating genuinely helps more people discover these stories. But now, it's time for Anna's letter. Dear Phoebe, Monica, Rachel, Chandler, Ross, and Joey. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. I'm just going to say I'm highly embarrassed. Anna was very particular in her email and said that I must sing and clap. And who am I to deviate away from the writer's wishes? But please don't ask me to do that again. Growing up in the 90s, my childhood days included this song at least 6 times a day. Friends was routinely played during our morning routine at 8 a.m. on Channel 4. 2 episodes were then on E4 at 5 p.m, E4 plus 1 at 6 p.m, another 2 episodes on E4 at 8 p.m, and then E4 plus 1 again at 9 p.m. Of course, that was never enough, so my sisters and I owned the complete VHS and DVD collection too. Yes, it's needless to say that Friends played a big part of my childhood. To this day, it's still my comfort show when I'm sad, ill, or simply a little bored. For me, the show really does live up to the lyrics. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you because you're there for me too. For 25 years, you've been there with laughs, wisdom, life lessons, and questionable advice. The show felt like having another set of family members. So much so that I genuinely started using American words and accents for things as a child. It taught me about language, relationships, and unfortunately made up the majority of my sex education as well. My school teachers certainly didn't talk about the mysterious magic 7 number that Monica gets so excited about, and her advice to take your time, hit them all, mix them up, you gotta keep them on their toes. And supposedly how Joey's line, "How you doing?" is the most seductive line any human could ever say, ever, with a 100% success rate. It taught me that a circumcised man like Joey, although I don't think I knew what that was when I was younger, could apparently solve all his problems with silly putty. That leather trousers should never be worn on a first date in summer, that safe sex is important, and sometimes rock, paper, scissors is required to decide who gets the last condom. And supposedly there's something called shark porn? Yeah. Perhaps not the best source to learn about sex. But the show also covered the nuances of dating, the crazy and interesting world of seeking a partner in your 20s and 30s. The friends to lovers story of Monica and Chandler showed how attraction can grow from friendship, trust, and mutual respect. Yet Joey and Rachel reminded us that sometimes the fantasy doesn't translate into reality. Unfortunately, who we fall in love with isn't always a choice. Monica falls in love with Richard despite differing views on starting a family. Ross's wife has an affair and embraces a new sexual identity, leaving him anxious, clingy, and insecure. The show also taught me some realities of family planning. things don't always go according to plan. Whether that's a surprise pregnancy like little Emma, the complexities of Phoebe's surrogacy, or the heartbreak of struggling to conceive. Not only that, but it also taught me what working as an adult can be like. Supposedly, that grown-up jobs include going to coffee shops with your friends every day of the week, that you can live in New York in an amazing apartment on a very tight budget. So I was bitterly disappointed upon entering the workforce and realizing that is not what adulting looks like. But there were some more useful career lessons in the show. Chandler taught me it's never too late to change careers and take a risk. Ross showed me why you must clearly label your food in the office fridge. The mental health breakdown following your boss eating your turkey moist maker sandwich is simply not worth it. Getting promoted to a manager and being boss man Bing means your relationships with your colleagues might change a little. And whatever you do, try your best not to accidentally kiss your boss at your interview like Rachel. Watching the show as a grown-up, I've connected with different characters at different stages of my life, learning from both their wisdom and their flaws. Chandler, you taught me not to take life too seriously. Quick-witted sarcasm is truly a gift. You also showed how attachment wounds and fear of commitment can affect your adult relationships. I still can't believe you actually ran away on the morning of your wedding. Phoebe, wacky, wonderful, and my all-time favorite. A true role model for following your passions, writing songs about smelly cats, creating mannequin art, and never being afraid to live authentically and go against the grain. Watching as an adult, I feel genuine compassion for everything you endured growing up. Homelessness, loss, and learning to survive on your own. Yet somehow you remained kind, quirky, and hopeful. You taught me to embrace my inner hippie and that maybe, just maybe, that stray cat could be a reincarnated loved one. Ross. Oh, Ross. The jealous, possessive boyfriend. Yep, you taught me what to be wary of when choosing a partner. To never say someone else's name at a wedding, never date your students, and don't try to kiss your cousin. Ew. And be careful who you marry. 3 divorces before 30 is quite an achievement. But also, you taught me to follow my passions, throw myself into learning, and nurture relationships with my siblings. You also taught me to be wary of spray tan booths and teeth whitening. Rachel, what an arc. From spoiled princess to independent, successful career woman, a reminder not to depend on others. To build life for yourself, step outside your comfort zone and discover what you're truly capable of. Joey, you taught me that sometimes a childlike view of the world is exactly what is needed. A character who embraced his love of food, showed resilience in the face of constant rejection from auditions, and remained fiercely loyal to the people he loved. Monica, a perfectionist at heart, a woman who loves control, fears her past, and uses obsessive cleaning to cope while secretly hiding a chaotic cupboard that nobody is allowed to see. Honestly, I think most of us can relate to that a little. But you also showed determination, kindness, and a courage to keep pursuing motherhood despite enormous challenges. So, before I leave you, thank you for the lessons that only the 6 of you could provide. 1. Make friends with your neighbours across the hall. They might be a Mr. Heckles, or they might become lifelong friends and partners. 2. Your friendships can truly transform your life. Embrace each other's differences, nurture your relationships, and repair the ruptures when they happen. 3. When things get stuck, shouting pivot doesn't actually help, but it certainly lightens the mood. 4. Thanksgiving pants with a stretchy stomach are, in fact, a necessity as an adult for the festive period. 5. If you ever want to know what feet taste like, simply add beef to your trifle. 6. If I ever have children higher than male nanny, who plays recorder, cries and bakes madeleines, what an angel. 7. Break up with toxic partners. And don't waste years of your life trying to force something that isn't right. As Phoebe says, find your lobster. They might not arrive when you expect, but keep looking. 8. They don't know that we know that they know we know. And it's okay. 9. Unagi is not something you are. It's something you have. 10. If you're lucky enough to find a real friendship group, love them fiercely, show them gratitude, and don't take them for granted. And if you're still searching for yours, that's okay too. These 6 friends will always be here for you and remind you it's okay if no one told you life was going to be this way. Anna, thank you so much for that letter. I really enjoyed reading it, apart from the singing. I, like you, keep revisiting Friends over and over again in my life. It really is one of my happy places, and I know for so many people out there, it is theirs too. It may not have aged well in all aspects over the years, but there is something about those 6 friends that is really magical and comforting. If you have listened today and you've enjoyed it and it's made you smile or it's made you sing, I would love for you to send this on to somebody else who you know would equally appreciate everything that was in this letter. And as always, if there is something that you would like to write about, remember it can be to anyone or anything. Please do send me your letter. I would love to read it. I will leave you there. But perhaps next time you see one of your friends, just give them that little bit tighter of a hug. Thank you again for listening to the Letterbox Podcast.